forgot to put the countdown on. Darn it. Okay, but I can start and say, hey there, YouTube, slasher chicks and slasher dudes. My name's Alicia, and this is Slasher Chick TV. Oh, hey there, YouTube, slasher chicks and slasher dudes. My name's Alicia. I'm in stereo now. Hold on. Okay, let's start this intro over. Get the sexy librarian thing going up now because this is not how my setup's supposed to be. Whole fam, let me fix this for a second. Just give me one moment. I won't turn off the sound, but I need to jerry rig my lighting situation here because it's not how it's supposed to be. I have to finish redoing my office area, i.e. my Okay, I was muted. I didn't think I was muted. I thought I was talking to you. My bad. Okay. Now, if I do this, okay. Yeah, my lighting's not making my green screen do the things I want it to do, but we're here, and that's the point. We are here for day 35 of 90 consecutive days of live streaming, and I'm honoring my commitment to myself. I showed up for myself after what was a work day and then a meeting. So here we are. And luckily, I had thought about what today's stream was going to be about because I wanted to get to a theme for the week. And this is what I got for my live stream schedule. So on Mondays, wait, is that? Oh, I don't think that's M, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Oh, M, that's M. That's okay. Anyway, so on Mondays, we talk about money moves. On Tuesdays, if you came yesterday, we talk about Tech Tuesdays. Wednesdays are now Win-Win Wednesdays, where we talk about negotiations. And Thursdays is going to be, I think, Thrive Thursdays, specifically around growth mindset, more lifestyle things. Fridays will be Freedom Fridays. And Saturdays is self-care Saturday. And on Sunday, we do our VIP reset. So that's the live stream schedule. I'm pretty excited about having gotten to one. And I look forward to sharing it with you when I have something of substance to share. In the meantime, I wanted my calculator to tell me like what percentage I'm at right now. I think this is 40%? I don't know. Hey Siri, what percentage is 35 of 90? 38.888%. So that's how close to done we are. So tomorrow's 40%. That's great. So in my 90 consecutive days of live streaming, I got that goal achieved and coming up with live stream topic themes. And for today on Win-Win Wednesday, I wanted to talk about moving from positions to interest. Basically, what negotiations are all about, and why I specifically talk about principle-based negotiations and moving from positions to interests, because it's really not about just trying to get more of what you want or give the other person less of what they want. It's like, how do we create something new together that's a solution for as many of both of our needs as possible? So that's what I specifically talk about. And so I thought today would be a good day to come up with some different examples of what interests are over what it means to just have a position. So the position is like the thing that you want, right? You might go into a negotiation, you're like, I want this job at X amount of money, and that's your position. But interest are the other things that are underlying that you also want, in addition to the thing. So here's some examples that I think will help. Now, usually the story I often use when I'm teaching classes on negotiation is this example, in which you are babysitting and you hear the children, in another room, uh, and they're, clearly arguing or whatever they're doing, but you can hear them. It's noise. You're going to have to go in there and mediate. And when you attempt to go in there and mediate, you see that the kids are in there and they are fighting over an orange, as illustrated in this AI created gem here. And because the kids are fighting over this orange, you got to do something about it. So you're like, oh crap, let me jump in here because I can't have these kids fighting over this orange. One, it's annoying, and two, they're loud. So yeah, those AI hands are so weird. Anyway, so there's a couple of ways you could go about this, right? Let's say you decide to cut the orange in half and give them each a half of the orange. And you do that because that seems to be the simplest solution to get them to stop fighting, right? And then you notice that one kid decides to take the pulp of the orange out and eat it and throw out the skin. And the other kid takes the pulp of the orange and throws that out and keeps the skin because she just wanted the zest to make a pie while the other kid actually wanted to eat the orange. And now you've made a negotiation, yes, but neither party is truly happy because they both only gotten half of what they really wanted. They both wanted the whole orange for the full pulp or the full skin, and neither of them got their full request. So, had there been a time where there was more conversation to learn about their interests over their position of the orange, then one might have learned a way that would solve both of their needs. So I started to think, well, what are some other examples of such things? And one other example that I thought of would be something like, two sisters and a lemon cake. Because I really want to drive this point home about interest. Where you start the negotiation is generally people's position on the thing that they want, right? So in this particular example, yes, the thing that each of them wants is the last slice of the lemon cake. But they can't both have it, right? Or they could split it. Or they could make a whole new cake and both get extra slices. There are many other things that they could do. But if they continue to have this conversation about ways in which they could meet both of their needs, then they might learn that one of them really only wants the icing and the other one wants the actual cake. And so they could just turn the cake upside down to give the cake part and let the other one swipe the icing off. That's another option. And principle based negotiation is really about working together and collaborating till you come up with other options than just arguing over who gets more of this or that. Yes, but the cake, Mrs. Newton's Big Family, Big Noise, is really only an example. There will be no actual cake in this live stream this evening, unfortunately. Which reminds me, I still have not eaten dinner. But the cake is used as an example of originally that slice of cake is their position, the thing the person wants in this negotiation. But really, one of them wants the icing and one of them wants the actual cake part. And you can only find that out by talking it through to find out what their interests are. So another example, because I'm not done here. There are this one, I know the ones I've given so far, like, okay, kids fighting over an orange. Yeah, great. These two sisters and their fake lemon cake. Okay. But none of those are like real things. There's no real stake in the game that anyone of real consequence would care about negotiating over. So, what do you mean when you say interest over positions? All right, I'm going to give another example that I think will further illustrate this. That is more of a real world example that might resonate on now I further understand. So the other day I talked about the listening triangle, and the listening is how you get to someone's interest over just the position. So here is my other example. Now, two business partners, they start a business together. Things are going great, things are going well. And for some reason, though, at some point, they're not anymore. They're either not going great, not going well, or maybe life just changes. Maybe one of them or both of them can't commit to the business in the same way that they had. Either way, both of them have the partnership has to split one way or another. The partnership has to end, and now two partners in a business have to decide how to part ways. But both of them want the company's proprietary software, the software that they got together and created in the first place. But through negotiation, they realize that one of them is more interested in the potential future of development of the software, while the other one is more interested in the current client base that they have. So they agree that one will take over the ongoing business with the existing software and clients, and the other one will get to start a new business with the core technology in a completely different market, but without worrying about the current business suing them for using their proprietary software. But they wouldn't have gotten there if they didn't have conversations to get to, well, what are our primary interests here, other than just our position of we both want the business. Um, One example happened recently. I saw on YouTube, and I would have to go find the lady's channel, but there was a content creator on YouTube, and her name was on YouTube was called the Harvard Lawyer or something to that effect. Either way, she used Harvard in the name. And Harvard sent her a cease and desist to tell her that she could no longer use that name. And she started to decide, well, do I want to sue over this? Because I am a Harvard lawyer. I did go to Harvard. I am an attorney, and I'm not, using it in the way that it's being prescribed. Like, do I want to fight this? And ultimately, she decided she did not, because it wasn't in like her interest of time and money, and not fighting against Harvard were bigger. She, yes, had an interest in establishing some credibility online, and that's why she used the Harvard lawyer in her name on the channel. But she also acknowledged at this point she's like a whole micro influencer with over X amount of subscribers. So credibility has been established. She no longer needed the Harvard name. And so she ultimately decided, yeah, if they want the name, okay, I'm not going to fight over that. But she had to have that negotiation with herself to also think about, what are my interests here? Or do I want to just hold on to a position without finding out what's possible in this negotiation here? Now, another one that I thought was a great recent example to talk about position over interest is, unless, even if you have been over a rock, you have been forced to hear about this Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap battle. Now, I got sucked down this rabbit hole the other day because I just didn't understand what was happening and why. I mostly didn't understand why, nor had I listened to any of the songs. And then when I finally did start listening to the songs, I was like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. But I still needed to figure out what is going on here, though. Why have we gotten to this point where now this rap beef is we're attacking each other's character, not just each other's talents? So I'm the rabbit hole to find out. And as I was down said rabbit hole, I learned that Drake and Kendrick Lamar have had this rap beef for quite some time. Apparently, since 2011, when one started sneak dissing the other. I never picked up on the sneak dissing. So, but at any rate, the thing that has been surprising is Kendrick Lamar has allowed people to react to the songs that he's put out with no copyright claim, like with no ownership over the copyright. He's freely allowed content creators to make money off of reacting or commentary to his music, which under normal circumstances would not be the position of an artist or the artist label. And you don't have to, though, Mrs. Newton, big family, big noise, because the point is, all you need to know is that copyright strikes are generally because it's in the original creator's best interest to maintain ownership of their copywritten material so that they're the only ones who can make money off the stuff that they created. But because it's in his interest right now to get more people listening and talking about this, he's just allowed anybody to freely use the contract, the copyright, which is like completely unheard of. But that negotiation right now is in the interest he has is having more people listen to his music, more people talking about Kendrick Lamar, more people thinking he's better than Drake. And so he's willing to lose a potential revenue in order to serve that interest of being the best ultimately. So yeah, that's crazy. Yes, I agree, Coach Sherry. Exactly. That's why I had to go. I'm like, what? Like, I thought everybody was just in there minding their business, and there was just a sudden rap battle that has been going on for, I think, a full week. I don't know. I've been on a news diet since the beginning of 2023, and so I find out most of my news through YouTube and TikTok. I'm a very informed person right now. No, or I have to go look for it, or I have to go look for a news, like to go where I'm going to read it from a specific source, but these are the things that, in spite of my not watching news, still get served to me. Like that's how much it's bubbled up. So, but him not allowing anyone to use the copyright right now is just very interesting. And I'm also intrigued of what's going to happen then, though, because all of this really has got to be set up to promote an album. It's the only thing that makes sense, right? You must be intending to drop an album at some point. And when you drop the album, you're certainly not going to want to allow anybody to just use your copywritten music without you getting paid for it. So are they going to go reel back in all those copyright and start mass copyright and claim everybody? And then they're going to end up in having an Abba and Preach situation where channels are almost about to get terminated because someone revoked their consent all late and after the fact. And if he were to revoke consent, that's not going to get out in the same way that shockingly allowing consent will. So I don't know. That will be an interesting negotiation should we ever lead to that part. But it's just a further example that sometimes people care more about other parts of their interest than they do about the position, the thing that they're holding tight to. So I think I have one last story example that will give you an illustration of the difference between position and interest and how you want to negotiate so you can move people from their position to an interest. Now, this is another AI built story. And I want to try it out.
Pondered about how our public spaces serve a myriad of purposes for diverse groups of people. What happens when those purposes collide? Imagine the scene: a tranquil, bustling public park, a haven of peace and community within the heart of the city. But one morning, tranquility turns into tension. On one side, we have a group of dedicated dog walkers, their furry friends, eager for their daily romp in the park. On the other side, a yoga class yearning for the calm and serene environment to practice their sun salutations and warrior poses. Both groups equally passionate about their activities, both groups equally entitled to the public space. A conflict, seemingly inevitable, begins to brew. The park, once a symbol of harmony, becomes a battleground of sorts. The early morning calm is broken by barks and calls for quiet. The tension is palpable, the air thick with unspoken words and unsolved problems. The public park, usually a place of peace, is suddenly a source of stress. But then, amidst the brewing storm, a voice of reason emerges. A suggestion is put forth. Why not discuss the issue, understand each other's needs, and find a common ground? The idea is welcomed, and the two groups come together, setting aside their
I
differences
think they
to
are
find a
coyotes. They're
resolution.
definitely not dogs
They
out with dog
discover
walkers.
that the dog walkers prefer the
Further
early morning
examples, like
and
you
late
can't just leave
evening
it completely
hours
to
when
AI.
the cool air allows the dogs to frolic freely. The yoga class, on the other hand, finds the mid morning hours ideal when the park is quieter
Like, what
and
do
the
you mean
sun is
people
not
have to
too
do
harsh.
yoga?
A perfect harmony, it seems, is possible after all. And so a schedule is agreed upon. The park, once a battlefield, is now a symbol of compromise and cooperation. The dog walkers have their time in the park, the yoga class has theirs, and peace is restored. Alternatively, some parties decided to get together and just do dog yoga. Everyone wins. In summary, this.
All right, I put that last part in there about the dog yoga because that would be another thing that you could come up with as an alternative solution if you thought about your interest. And I don't know if you have heard about this or not, but we have this around here. It's called farm yoga or something like that, and it's like yoga you do with like goats and sheep and stuff. Dog yoga seems like a thing. Um, Okay, that's kind of not, it's not that surprising, but better it had a coyote boyfriend than a possum. That would be weird. But oh, Coach Sherry, I should have wrote this down because I was listening to your live just before I came in here, and it was something I had a thought about, a value of mine that I just realized was different now that I am older. It's something that led to my desire for peace over almost anything else, but I don't know how exactly I was describing it at the moment. Because that, I don't know if I can just say, oh, I value peace, which I do. But I don't, that's not what we mean in this definition at the time. Um, Yeah, but no, you know what? Yeah, I think it is. I realize I value peace over comfort. And it might be uncomfortable sometimes to tell people, like, no, I'm not going to do that. Hey, to enforce your boundaries or to cut off things that are no longer good for you. Like, that might not be, comfortable to do, but it will ultimately serve my peace. So I'm going to do them. And I don't think I would have always made those choices in the same way in the past. So it's nice to be at that spot. And it's also nice when you realize that, um, or when you notice that, like how, yeah, I guess I'll say, when you strive for an improvement and you notice that it's there. Um, yeah, it does because I think it changes so much about like what you care about and what's important to you over time. Um, like, oh, there was this there's this like meme TikTok thing or something that goes around, and it's like, what's something that you cared a lot about in your 20s that now you're not really like concerned about. And before even the creator could say it, I said at the same time, I was like, everything. Like, I was preoccupied and anxious about like everything that, like, in the grand scheme of things, was like not that big of a deal. And man, how much of my yeah, peace I could have gotten back if I wasn't stressing over things that just weren't stress worthy. So, and yeah, how I negotiate has changed too. Because I know in the past I definitely was less apt to just ask for what I want most of the time. Particularly one of the things that I maybe earlier in my career would not have done would be to try to negotiate a salary when I got a job offer. And now I'm like, you absolutely have to. It is like an imperative to attempt to. The worst case scenario is they're going to tell you no and you still have the same offer that you had. Like, but you can't leave money on the table. So, oh my gosh, really? I feel like, and see, I feel like I might have felt like that at some point. I don't know. I don't know. Have I? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever had that many clothes to be able to do that. So that's a nice thing to be able to do. I think you did say, yeah, you were working very like shark like environments too, right? So that would I think that's a nice opportunity to get that kind of experience. I mean, probably didn't feel always nice at the time, but to get that kind of experience to make you so much more of a savvy negotiator by the time you needed it for different things that, the stakes were a little more personally higher. But yeah, I haven't finished the rest of your life, so I'm gonna definitely finish the rest of that. Okay, that's what I thought it was real estate. Or that I was gonna say, well, yeah, they have to work together because I feel like you worked with a lot of construction folks, and that is not for the faint at heart. It's not for no pushovers. Um, so yeah, it's so funny having gotten to day 35. And so, Coach Sherry, you let me know if you feel this way. I definitely have to come up with a better time of day and get that settled. But it almost like feels like a thing that you okay, for like, but you look forward to, like, oh, it's not like an obligation that, like, oh, I gotta go live, but like, yay, I gotta go live. And that progress. And that reminds me of the thing. It was something you said about, like, what are you committing to, or the last time you like committed to something and been proud, or something to that effect. I really should have wrote it down. But I remember the thing I thought about was, like, having reached day 30 of this challenge really felt like I don't remember the last time that I had ventured into a challenge that required me to stretch in such a way with consistency and commitment. Like, it's not that I never get challenged at work or in my volunteer stuff, but not in quite this way, in some time, in a way that feels like invigorating and identity shifting. Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. Like, I am a whole content creator. Like, I can officially say I'm a live streamer for sure, right? Like, I'm a streamer. So, yeah. So here's the thing I was saying earlier before you came in, Coach Cherry, that I have my themes then now for Monday through Sunday. That fit into my pillars that I would like to have on my channel. Oops. So I still want to do the money moves on Monday, where I'm continuing to work on my relationship with money, or talk about some of the different things that I try out with my investing, or what I'm learning, etc. Um, Tuesdays will be the Tech Tuesday. Wednesday, Win Wednesday. Thursday is going to be a Thrive Thursday. It's like more growth mindset, personal development type stuff. Friday's Freedom Friday. Saturday's a self care Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll do my VIP reset. That will be my schedule. Now, if I can get that on a consistent time, then I'll really be proud of myself. But that was one of the things I was proud of myself of, like, okay, that's one of the goals by the end of this 90 days, is to have some clear streaming themes and plans and so on. Now, does that mean I'm going to commit to going every day on that schedule? No, not necessarily. But when I figure out my regular streaming schedule, I know I can still keep those up after the 90 days, right? And hopefully I will have established some consistency with the Tech Tuesdays, or so I'm really excited about that. It feels like another milestone in this process. Yeah, that was why I had to do it too, Coach Cherry. I wanted to get there to the point of, one, to make it easier for me to like prep content and to be able to easily talk about something. But two, to actually get into a groove that does allow me to like build an audience at some point about those things. Like, if those are the things that you talk about on your channel, and there's some trending topics that fit into those pillars, then you can talk about them on a live stream, and that's also going to bring new people to your channel. Like, in the time that I've been doing this, and when I used the watcher fail of them attempting to go off platform as an example of a poor negotiation and a negotiation fail, that was a live stream that actually has been getting recommended for people looking for the watcher thing. I never expected that to happen. But that's one correction I have from the other thing. Live streams do get served up in searches, but they have to, be like very specific to the topic that's being searched. But I noticed when I was searching for some things that I search for, mostly around like YouTube optimization type stuff, some people's live streams do get served to me as results. So, um, one of the things I've been trying to do with these live streams is afterwards going back and at least trying to put a summary in, so that maybe if someone's searching for something that um, is germane to the topic, the summary will pick it up. I don't know. We're experimenting. We're learning here as we go. We'll see what happens. But I do think ultimately, the daily themes will make it a bit easier. I hope that it'll make it a bit easier. And also because I have some days that before I finish this 90 days, like I have travel plan and I need to be able to get in front of like, what am I actually going to do on those days? So, um, well, Coach Sherry, I'll give you a little tip for that. I don't do this. I don't start the whole summary by myself. If you put a video, if you link a YouTube video into Gemini, is it Gemini.google? Hold on. Yeah, Gemini.google.com, which is Google's AI GPT. And you link in a video, you can put that in the body and say, summarize this video for me. So you could take once your live is live on the channel, but once it's published, post live, like after finished rendering, you can take that link and drop it in there and it will summarize it for you. As a matter of fact, let me see if I have what I need to do? I feel like I do. Let me see. I really gotta, I have also come up with a bunch of things that I do need to actually record, because I've been very pleased with how much my last video has been recommended. Did not expect that. But is this? Oh, this is Tech Tuesdays. Okay. So let me go to the video here. And they usually have a see it on your channel link. There it is. Okay, here's the video link. I copied the video link right here. And then I'm going to go to Gemini.google. Hopefully this works since I'm trying to show it. Oh, well, I'm not actually showing it. So let me do that too. Let me actually present the right screen. Okay, but what you need to know is up until this point, I went to my YouTube, I copied the video link, and I said, now summarize this video. Now let's see what happens, because it has to have, I believe it has to have closed caption though. Yeah. Yeah, that one didn't have closed caption, so it's not going to work. So one thing you would have to have is your closed captions on. But I'm going to use another example though. Because let's say you were using it though to get, say, YouTube ideas, right? All right, hold on. All right, let me cook for a second here, Coach Harry, because you talk about workforce development strategies. So I have first to search for what comes up if I'm looking for workforce development stuff. Okay. And then hold on. Now I've like lost my stream. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you can go back and put it on to one. See, that might have also been because of the link I chose. Let me just try this. If it was because it was a public link. Oh, let me try this one. I don't think I did this one. And does this have closed caption set? It doesn't, but okay, that one I can't. Let me just see. For people to choose from. All right. Oh, we'll have the auto-generated one. And they have like, will I turn the auto-generated one on if that changes things? Because now I'm curious. But I have an alternative as well. If that doesn't work, hold on. Let me just see. All right, yeah, even with the closed caption, it doesn't work. But let's see if, but this option, I'm going to show you the free version of the Descript free screen recorder. Let's see if this one would do it. All right, this one will transcribe for you. But I don't know if it has a free option. But Descript is one that oh yeah, it does have a free option. So Descript is one though that you can use, and it will put the closed captions on for you. Now, what I don't know with this free option is, let me go ahead. I'm going to sign up with my personal email. What I don't know is with the, oh wait, what? It does on Perplexity? Hold on, Coach Sherry. Let me find out, because I still haven't used that since you recommended it, and now I'm like, oh my goodness. This is so exciting. All right, I feel like my link was wrong though, because that is not my video. Okay, but look at maybe I put the wrong link. This is what I asked it to summarize my video, and it says it's a live stream from YouTube. Oh wait, it's not sharing. Hold on. And it starts talking about NASA. I didn't talk about NASA. Let me just see if I rewrite it. Hold on. Let me try one more time. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna wait. What was the prompt you used? Summarize this video, because that's all the prompt I use. And I'm gonna try it again. But yeah, do I need to tell it to watch it? I'm going to tell it to watch it. Because I don't know where it got NASA from. But that might just be an example of like, hey, you can't trust the AI. Yeah, it keeps interesting. I'm not sure why. Oh, it did take me to the right video. But why do you think it keeps saying this is NASA? That's so funny. I wonder, can I edit the sources? Oh, I can't. Oh, wait, I can edit the query. All right. I'm going to say exclude any NASA sources because I don't know why it's picking those up. That is so weird. Okay, yeah, I'm going to try another video. Okay. Wait, all right. One thing I'm going to try is if I turn these closed captions off, will that make a difference? Okay. All right, let me try another video and see what happens. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to get into shorts here. All right, but wait, one last question, Coach Share. You put a live stream in there specifically, or only a actual pre-recorded video? Fine, that's my final question. Okay. All right, here's another live stream that I'm going to try. We see the videos coming up. I've copied the link. Now I'm going to ask it. I'm going to try a new one. Yes, there we go. Summarize this video. Oh, huh. I don't know. I think because maybe this one didn't have enough like structure. You know what I mean? I don't know. But perhaps, yeah, that could be it too. But also, the Descript thing that I have the paid version for that. And I could go put it in there and it'll also do it for me. But I feel like with Descript, I have to put the MP4. I can't just put a link. Yeah, with Descript, I have to have the actual file. So I would have to like download this and then go put it in there. But yeah, I feel like you having the paid version is like the difference between like having Chat GPT like 3.5 or the 4.0 version. Like there's some features that we don't have access to yet, that you probably do. But either way, the whole point was to show you how you can now summarize that video and then go back to the video. And this ain't a good one. But I'm like, one of my previous ones that I did that. And then you can go back to the video and put that summary now in the body. Let me see if there's one I did that for already. I think I did that for this one. Darn it, I did not. I don't know which ones I did it for because I didn't do it for all of them yet. But yeah, you could go put it in the description now and then have more information to come up in search after the fact. Because I don't know, after I finish this challenge, I'm probably not leaving all of these live streams up either. Um, but maybe I will. I don't know. I definitely either want to like clean up how they look aesthetically, and that would be goal number two for the end of this challenge is to further brand the channel in a way that is consistent. So consistent schedule, consistent branding. That's what we're hoping for here. But day 35 complete, and I just learned something new. So thank you, Coach Sherry. And I still don't have an outro, but I'll add that to the goal list as well. Hope to see you tomorrow on day 36. If you take them down, you'll lose the watch hours and subs gained. So you lose the watch hours, you don't necessarily lose the subs, and I'm prepared for that. In that the plan is this: if I am actually um delivering scheduled content around the same subjects, I should be able to replace the watch hours eventually so that I can remove the old lives, as far as like them cleaning up the aesthetics of the channel. Like that's the plan I have in my head, but I haven't actually started recording any content outside of that. um the self-care one video. So I need to actually be doing that to test this theory. And I haven't started that. But either way, I'm going to be sharing what I learned along the journey on how to make it work. So I'll let you know. All right. Thank you for being here for day 35. Hope to see you on day 36, and good night. I have no idea. I saw that too, and I don't know where that came from. I think it might be a StreamYard thing, but I don't know how I did it. So, another new thing to learn, I guess. Good night.